This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Welcome to another episode of Speak Up Effective Communication, the show focused on communication skills in the auto repair industry. I am your host, Craig O'Neill, and with me today is our guest, Evan Wisner.
Glad to be here, Craig.
Yeah, we are. And this is going to be a little different. So, Evan, what are we up to today?
Well, today is going to be a little different. I am going to interview you.
Yes, I've agreed to this.
Through our conversations, I realized that I appreciate the relationship that you and I have and the communication and the dialogue and the listening and the back and the forth. And I've only been on like one side for your podcast. And I thought one of the most important aspects of speaking, communication, and conversation is the relationship and the relationship that you're building. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity for your audience to build a relationship with you by me asking questions so that they're getting more of that information.
I couldn't disagree with that logic. It's not normal for me to want to get out there and just start talking about myself. You might get some of my opinions. But what do those mean if you don't know anything about me? All right, man. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to say this. Evan helped me select today's word of the day already, and I think it was a really good one. Today's word of the day is heedful. 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 And we'll hear about the word of the day after we hear a word from our sponsors who make this show possible. Looking for something meaningful? The Institute's coaching helps you leave a legacy, empower your team, and contribute to your community. Discover more at wearetheinstitute.com/business-assessment. Your partner in technology, AutoFlow is able to enhance your client interactions before, during, and after the visit from a single thread. To see how AutoFlow makes it simple, visit AutoFlow.com. Are you tired of juggling multiple tools to manage your auto repair shop? Say goodbye to the chaos and hello to streamlined efficiency with AutoLeap, the #1 all-in-one auto repair shop management software. With AutoLeap, you can sell more, save precious time, and delight your customers with every interaction. Your trusted companion, ShopDog Marketing, is right by your side, attracting the best customers and building long-term growth. Call ShopDog Marketing today or visit shopdogmarketing.com. Cover your communication need and revolutionize your auto repair business with AI-driven call analytics from Inbound. Explore more at callinbound.com. Okay, we're back, and I have Evan Wisner with me, and we introduced the word of the day, heedful. Heedful as an adjective, simply meaning aware of and attentive to. We're going to be heedful here and listen to Evan's questions for me this time. Evan will be the one asking the questions in this episode, and so I feel like I'm just sort of like passing on like a host hat or something to you, Evan, here, and we're going to just see how this goes.
If I had one, I'd put it on.
I don't wear hats either.
So I am a trained therapist, and a huge part of the therapeutic process is sitting down and having a conversation. And there are aspects of that that are applicable to everybody, but we do it in a structured and formalized way. I'm not going to get into real detailed kind of nitty gritty of that kind of stuff because this isn't a therapeutic relationship.
Now, if I need to lay down, I mean...
Yeah, you want to kick up your feet and tell me about your childhood fears. That's not what we're doing. So I just wanted an opportunity of like creating a conversation that we can pull some things from.
What a great skill, though. So I'm just going to chime in because I'm going to do this.
Well, it's the whole point, right? We want to hear about you.
This will be a good thing for the audience, too, because, hey, we talk about people doing this in our auto repair shops. We talk about it in every conversation we enter and the commitments we make in our life, being able to get into a good question asking. And for me to be able to shut up and listen to a question and go into it.
First off, what was the first moment that you really felt like this strong connection to communication and public speaking, where you're like, I'm interested, I want to know more about it, I want to be better about it?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, it's weird. Most of my life, people would tell me I was good at articulating myself. My mom always teased me and said I should be a lawyer. I like conversation and like debate in particular, but I think it's just kind of been, really only in the last, I think it's 7 or 8 years now. My boss, Chris Cloutier, I've mentioned him many times on the show here. He started to allow me to do some presenting with him multiple times at conferences, and I really enjoyed those opportunities. And he's continued to encourage me on that path. So I would say really the last 7 or 8 years, and it just happened to be a part of the career move I made, serving the industry instead of working just in the industry. And here we are. One thing leads to another.
You're a trainer. So like you speak, basically, you're a professional speaker. You make your money with your voice.
I mean, in a sense, right? Like as far as training goes, we argue on that term a lot in this industry. Several of my friends and that do the same sort of things, like, is trainer the right word? Instructor, teacher, which is it? And it's like, oh man, I don't know. I feel like just one of the same people. I've sat in the same chairs on both sides of the room and still do. Permanent student. So I struggle with just saying myself as a trainer. Yes, my role is in training. Yes, my role is in talking to people. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's a natural evolution that people should be aware of all the time in whatever field they're in as they develop their skills. That's a logical evolution of what your expertise can do. Instead of just doing what you're good at, start to help other people become good at it as well.
I always heard it. My girlfriend's always telling me, show one, do one, teach one.
Show one, do one, teach one?
Yeah, like show someone, then do it, and then teach them how to do it. Or for you in the learning process of like somebody showed you, then you did it, and then you got to teach other people how to do it.
It's about the pattern. Yeah, we're very much learned by doing industry. I'll tell you that. In auto repair, I know your exposure to our industry is a little bit, less than mine. You have different experiences anyways, but you come from another field as well that, yeah, especially your military background, you learn a lot by doing. Same for us. And I feel like that's the journey I'm still on. I'm learning about communication skill by doing it.
You've been in this industry your whole life, right? It's family business and like you're connected to it. So if you would like to highlight some, hey, this and this and this were like very important sort of moments in like learning of like how to communicate, one or two that come to mind. Any especially that had exceptional difficulty with communication that you had to overcome?
Interesting question. Yeah, it's actually two things that come straight to mind on that. I was born into this industry. My dad and my grandpa started a transmission shop where we're at, and my dad took that shop over. That was the trajectory I was on as well. But ever since I was a kid, that's where we went. And most of my early communication, I learned a ton sitting in the office with my dad talking to customers, learning how to communicate like adults in that context, and a lot of just sitting, bored, and listening. No cell phones for kids in the late 80s, early 90s especially. You learn things that way. I worry for this next generation not having that level of boredom. But I'll say the family business was another example in a totally different way. Grandpa, bit of a hothead. My dad, very quiet. Myself, I tend to be a mix of those things. But I learned a lot in very loving, but often sometimes very passionate environment as well. And so there was some bad examples of communication mixed in with the really good examples too. And I went through some struggles trying to hone which one of those examples I wanted to follow.
Can you give me an example of a specific situation? It could be at any point in your time in the automotive industry that you felt you were trying to communicate very effectively and it did not come across, and how you resolved that.
Oh man, this is a constant struggle. And I just did a recording. This will be going live before this one airs. Another episode will have aired about keeping things simple. My tendency is to overcomplicate things. I think I get a weekly reminder from my boss, Chris, to keep it simple. And what I explained in that episode, and I'll just restate one of those things here, is was born in this industry. I've been immersed in the language of it forever. It is second nature. And when something is so second nature, what seems simple to me is absolutely not the case for nearly everyone I'm talking to.
The assumption of knowledge.
Yes. I make this mistake so regularly. Oh, yeah.
We all do.
Terrible. Yeah. And I've become more cognizant of it. I've become more heedful, I would say, of this reality. And I think the more I become aware of it and try to pay attention to it, the better I get at keeping things more accessible to whoever I'm talking to.
Well, one of the things that I have noticed about you is that you have a level of self-awareness. I say that of like everybody should be self-aware. That's like something everybody should strive for. But as far as how your communication is impacting everyone in your sphere. And your awareness, what is something that you have learned about yourself that you have found to either be useful or something that you have to be constantly aware of for communicating within this industry?
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with some empathy. One of the characteristic traits, like you remember in school days, teachers would assess not just your grades, but they would do a character thing. And one of the terms that I had to look it up the first time anyone ever put that is back in middle school, early high school. Self-conscientious was what they put in there. And I always kind of interpreted it as self-conscious because that's what I felt in those years. But it has a lot more to do really with being aware, I think, of how you are coming across or being perceived. And I think it did actually stem from what I would only call insecurity as a kid in high school. Gosh, I wish I could go back, right? In those days, like you don't even know. Like that's your whole world.
An anxiety of how you're coming across.
I think that'd be the more proper way of saying it. It was like a euphemism for anxiety is how I would look at it. But what I actually feel is I didn't fit in with one group or another. I was that kid who could drift into any group and get along with them pretty good. Not like best friend level, but good acquaintance level.
I could be friends with anybody, right? Yeah, I get it.
Yes, and enjoyed that, but was never like the A-list either.
Felt like you were never where the perfect fit.
No, and so I don't know. I just, whenever it came to communication, though, I became good at, I guess, getting along with whoever was in my immediate presence.
How has that shown up in your life professionally, and how do you overcome it?
Yeah, I work in an industry that has a lot of colorful personalities. I think the benefit that I have is that background I have in the business, the background I have with a pretty angry grandpa. And this, for me, I just regard this as a simple benefit. I meet angry people. I've been an angry person. I've been very angry. My 20s, early 30s, even in the work environment, could get frustrated very easily. I can weather someone's anger and internally chuckle at it without it affecting me. In most cases, if it's directed truly at me and my person versus a situation, it's a little different.
A little bit of like, man, you're not even as bad as my grandpa, right? So, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It's exactly it. Oh, you've been exposed in special forces community. I'm sure that there gives you a realm of comfort when people are yelling at you that other people don't even understand. But yeah, no, it's just like, oh, what this person's trying to say is that they're very unhappy about this particular circumstance, and I need to listen to them and affirm that, and that'll calm them down. Don't say calm down to people. It doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, it's like throwing gas on a fire, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Calm down,
I can't now.
So this is a deep dive. This is me asking some of those little bit therapy questions. But when that anxiety shows up, is there any skills or things that you actively employ to ensure that you're not responding out of it? So that you're responding out of where you want to be and not how that person is, bringing that energy and creating that anxiety or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah. Every time I feel that, my method of this is just recognize that I'm just thinking about myself right now. Dude, don't be a dork. Think about other people first. It's not you who matters. They matter.
It's not about me, not taking it personally.
Not about me. Yeah.
That's a great one. Just don't take it personally, right?
Yeah, there's a great book I read by Brant Hansen. It's a Christian author. The book title is Unoffendable. And it's such a great read. From a Christian perspective, not all the time do you see that in religious communities where they would say, don't take offense to things. A lot of times you see the inverse of that, where there's groups of people, once you become a part of a group, it's like, oh, they're saying this about me and my beliefs. I've got to, it's my right now. That doesn't exist. That is the wrong attitude all the time on just about anything. There is nothing you need to take offense to. That's you losing control and giving control to another person.
I have learned in my own experience that to be true, with the only exception being when something is truly wrong and you have to stand up for it because either no one else is or no one else can. That's like the one example, but that's like 1 out of 10,000 times that those kind of situations really occur.
No, like a Holocaust scenario, right? Like where there's something atrocious that's occurring. Like those are stand-ups. And I would argue it's like almost not taking offense in that case. It's like taking action on something that needs to be stopped. A very different scenario. Yeah.
You could even argue a valid offense a righteous offense of like, no, I should be offended about this thing. Okay. I got that. So you mentioned that this journey of like speaking and working on communication, you've been more focused on it. Obviously, we are all on that journey our entire lives, but you said that the last 7, 8 years. How would you say you're different now from 7 or 8 years ago when you started?
That's a good question. I've thought about this a lot lately because I keep on bringing up like AI topics into a lot of the discussions I have. And I'm starting to get this awareness that, man, I really hate this technology right now. I mean, not in the sense of what it could do and the good that it can do, but I am so disappointed in what I'm seeing. I see just like lazy, not heedful communication occurring. It's like AI has introduced this easy button now that people are going to start depending on, and it's going to atrophy their skills in communication. And so I've started my current career track really excited about technology and the things that it can do to help us communicate better, more effectively, and where people are at. And this is a turning point for me in this last really about a year now that AI has been more pronounced. I'm at a point right now where I feel like I'm becoming nostalgic towards a slower paced communication that I remember in my youth and the attention that we had when we were, you remember, see, I remember what year you're born. I was born in 83. So elder millennial is the range I put myself at. So 42 this year I will be. And last generation to remember growing up without that layer of technology. And I'm not someone ever, dude, I build custom computers for fun. I love technology. I'm a geek. I'll geek out on gadgets and gizmos, all sorts of stuff. Anytime you name it, we can talk. I have more recently started to feel a pull towards a balance of non-technological communication and that in-person element of it, these face-to-face conversation skills. This is where I'm focused on right now and developing skills to be really good with a real human being.
I fully feel what you were saying.
I think a lot of people are.
And have gone through a similar process of, I actually did an entire research project for the state of Michigan and for all the mental health agencies, like the public mental health agencies, to find out like the effectiveness and the implementation practicality of like technology for mental health services. And I was like gung ho, like technology's going to fix this.
Because I'm supposed to say yes to this thing too, is kind of the pressure.
Yeah. And it's like, I felt like I spearheaded it and I was championing this. And then as I went farther into that, I was, I don't know that that's necessarily the healthiest approach. It is a tool that can be applied when necessary. And so I definitely understand that feeling. And there is a level of coming back to our relationships, our connections, our communication, and like you and me, one-to-one.
Yeah, absolutely. There's this picture on my company's website because I'm speaking at an event, and on the stage, I'm holding up a cell phone, mentioning to people that this is where we're communicating with people right now. And it, as a positive thing, this is where they're at. And like, we should be engaging them here type of a point. And what's funny is I look at that and I see that picture across my screen periodically when I'm on that page. And I think where I'm at right now, even with my kids who are teenagers, and our constant battle to get them off of these things is a real challenge. It's like, I don't like where I see people at in the moment. It's starting to get frustrating.
For sure. And the current currency is attention. And that little device constantly is stealing it in one way, shape, or form or another, for sure. I definitely get that. And so you feel like that has been your journey, is like you originally kind of focused on like tech, fix it, all of these kinds of things. And now you're on the pendulum swing the other way?
It's a pendulum swing. That's exactly the image that I would use. And this is where because I am firmly on the side that technology is good and can be used for good. And we have to have the discipline in order to do that. Like any skill set, it can be used for good or for bad, and it's a choice. And trying to keep the emphasis on the authentic, on the presence, on all of these these words are going to become more and more important. To be able to look at another person in the eye and carry a conversation without feeling like our brain is broken is something I think that's going to help people set themselves apart in the future very soon. You hear about jobs going away with AI, all these things. It's odd, dude. I feel like this was the right thing to stay focused on in this time, communication skills.
And there's also an element, like that is why we created technology, right? It's to make things easier, to like reduce workload. Like that's its purpose, is to reduce work. And that it will become more essential to be able to have in-person conversations, because you won't have to do a whole bunch of work where you're just like typing away and doing these things and like all of this stuff that isn't people facing. You're going to have to be more people facing and be able to have those interactions in healthy, effective ways, because that's where the shift will be. It'll be back towards that interpersonal, because a machine cannot give you that. It can give you an imitation, but it cannot give you it.
Imitation. Yeah. See, I'm a history buff, and we talked about this stuff a little bit too, I know, but like history for me, that my dream someday, teach history class. Like when I'm not going to retire, I'm going to go teach history at like college or high school level. I'm going to be that old school teacher then too. I'll probably be 60 years old or something like that. We're going to not have technology in the classroom. I'll be that curmudgeon then.
Phones are banned here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give them over. It's probably implanted by then. Who knows?
Make your room a Faraday cage. Yeah, so no technology works in it.
Well, look at the early human societies. And I would just pose this question, like early human societies, do you think they were as happy, less happy, or more happy than we are today in modern era? Have we increased happiness?
I would personally say, I think that is a frequency, like a wave spectrum, that there have been times where they were and times where they weren't. Then you're comparing like, okay, where are we on this line now compared to like, where are you looking? That is how I feel about it. There's definitely been times of both, I think.
Well, what's like one of your favorite things to do with a group of people when you're celebrating something? What do? You sit down at a table, you enjoy some food and drink, and that is timeless. What do you see today when you're sitting down, food and drink? Pull their phones out, looking at other friends. It's like, it's this posture of, it's like we can't even be present in this thing that we've been doing as a species since our beginning. And what happens when we drift further away from that? I don't know. I worry, especially for my kids' who don't exist yet.
It is an interesting paradigm that we're sort of experiencing and analyzing at the same time. We're like looking at it, trying to figure it out, but we're in it. So you can't be objective. So there's a lot of, I do totally agree with, there is an element of, we have created technology that is more advanced than our ability to interact with it. That our biology and our brain chemistry and the way that a phone manipulates those is more advanced than like we have the capacity oftentimes to overcome. And like we haven't adjusted for that. We haven't figured out how to do it.
No, yeah, dude, I'm going to have to get this book to you, The Anxious Generation, holding it up.
Height is like, that's required reading. I haven't read that one, but Height is amazing, yeah.
Yeah, well, he makes a solid point. Like where we're in right now is, we don't know the long-term impacts that these devices have had on the brains of this generation that's grown up with this almost the whole time. And there's no safe level that we can identify yet. We don't know. And that, again, that's one of those things that I feel like we just sort of take it as it comes. Yeah, that's all we can do. And work on our communication skills along the way.
Right, exactly. So I have a question very much about your industry. What do you appreciate most about the people in your industry?
Oh my gosh, we can solve anything. This is the strange thing. So the smartest people and some of the nicest people, and that is absolutely not what our industry is recognized with. It is not. Like your perception of the industry, let me reverse that question, and this is beneficial for our audience. Your initial perception of the auto repair industry is what?
For me, you have helped change it. So like I would have a very different answer.
You've had long enough before you knew me. No.
Of hucksters that they're trying to trick you and they're gaming you at some point, for sure.
And you and 80% of the country.
Adjacent to a used car salesman.
Exactly.
In the same vein as what a lot of people feel, for sure.
And look, I'm used to that. I grew up with, in high school, I faced it. We had a cable TV commercial for our shop. And let me tell you, being the kid whose dad's transmission shop was on, evidently, the Cartoon Network, because kids were seeing it. It was a little bit of teasing on that. And there was real jaded opinions towards auto mechanics at that time. And there was a teacher who actually said to my parents, my sister wasn't a great student in elementary school. They actually literally used the phrase, "Now, the apple didn't fall far from the tree here." saying this to my parents, this counselor person was, as though, well, she's not very intelligent and it's because you're blue collar mechanic people, I guess. And it's like, dear Lord, like growing up with that awareness at that level of the perception that, oh, people think your dad, who's like your freaking hero and is brilliant. I mean, my gosh, my dad's private pilot, can explain anything, is super, super well read and just can put things simply. Just like, I know this man's smart and people aren't treating him smart because the job sucks. It sucks. But that has not been my perception of anyone in this industry for as long as I've known. And it might be because I get to know a lot of the top 2% of shops in this country with these sort of networks and knowing guys like Carm Capriato who produces shows like this and all these things. That I'm in a communication circle where I am dealing with people who are really good in this business, but that has shaped my perspective of everything that anyone in this industry can become and can be. I get frustrated, if nothing else, Evan, when I meet people who have accepted the stigma.
Right. As you were speaking and as you were sharing, the same idea kept coming up for me, which is that I understand where the stigma comes from because there have been enough times where that was the case. It was true and that happened. But then like that is what people want to talk about because it's bad, it's shocking, it's different. And so then that becomes the narrative and it gets associated to it. But to me, I always look at, I'm like, these are experts at a technical process in some way, shape, or form that have knowledge and understanding of things that I just need, but don't fully understand. And so there's a level of like, I know that not for me, I'm like, yes, thank you, please help me. I don't know what's going on. But for a lot of people, there's an insecurity in that they have to trust that someone is not trying to take advantage of them, that they are trying to help them, and that they are giving them the best service that they possibly can. And I feel like in general, people are like hesitant. They're questioning.
Exactly. And this is the foundation of why the emphasis on communication for me. For me, it's always been a communication problem. From the earliest age, I could start to see that wrong perspective trickle into people's minds. And then we're just so bad at getting out of it. Like, for example, one of the worst things we do in our industry is like, we almost deserve the reputation when we do this. Someone starts treating us as untrustworthy and we start responding with offense.
Right. Getting mad.
Yeah. And now you're this angry mechanic. Great. Going to change people's minds with that.
And then you're getting defensive. And then the people are like, well, now are they going to mess with my car? And then that whole cycle continues, right? Yeah.
It is a spiral.
That's no one's fault, but it is a communication issue. It really is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you got to break the cycle and shift it the other way. So that's why I love what you said there too. It's like when I asked you your perspective of this industry and so, well, having heard more about it from me, it's like, dude, okay, you just nailed it. That's my whole dream. For every time I recommend Toastmasters to this industry, go to a Toastmasters club in your hometown and be that ambassador to this industry and start some grassroots freaking change in that stigma. You can do it. You can do it. Imagine taking on each day with a team that cares about doing more. They're motivated, skilled, humble, and hungry. They're invested in your shop's success because that success helps them do more than just sell jobs and fix cars. At the Institute, we believe a thriving business is built on its people. Our comprehensive coaching and peer groups help you become a leader who is capable of inspiring your employees to reach new heights, capable to deliver exceptional customer service, and capable to grow your business into a respected pillar of your community. Start your legacy at wearetheinstitute.com/business-assessment. It's time for today's Suck Less Spotlight from AutoFlow. Today's spotlight is on advisor eye twitches. Listen, clients like to stay informed throughout the repair process, and studies indicate clients are most satisfied receiving text updates versus phone calls. But call you they will, interrupting everything from estimating to quality conversations and your game of solitaire. That is, unless you text them first using AutoFlow. With AutoFlow's automated text updates, your phone only rings for the right reasons. That way, with less phone interruptions, your eye twitch will definitely suck less. For this and more things that could suck less, visit AutoFlow.com. Say goodbye to the chaos and hello to streamlined efficiency with AutoLeap, the #1 all-in-one auto repair shop management software. No more headaches, no more wasted hours, just smooth operations and happy customers. But hey, don't take our word for it. Experience the magic for yourself. So what are you waiting for? Head over to AutoLeap.com and book a demo today. Let AutoLeap revolutionize the way you do business. Do it all with AutoLeap. AutoLeap, where efficiency meets excellence. AutoLeap is by your side every step of the way. Ready to boost your auto repair shop's success? ShopDog Marketing is here to help you. We put customers first using AI to create standout content that ranks. Harness the power of mobile-first and voice search and let our expert team help you sweeten your revenue with more car count. ShopDog Marketing offers a free guide on using AI to drive more repair orders. Get your guide today and watch your auto repair shop thrive. Visit shopdogmarketing.com. Inbound has exclusively served independent auto repair shops with expert communication solutions for years. Our robust VoIP platform ensures you stay connected while our industry-leading AI analytics take your business to the next level. We provide the tools you need to understand your customers and optimize every interaction. Choose Inbound for proven expertise and unmatched innovation. Visit callinbound.com and discover the difference we can make.
What is like the best advice that a mentor, a leader, or someone ever gave you about working in that industry?
The best advice, I constantly cite one of my coaches, Bob Greenwood. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2021.
I do remember this. Now that you mention it, yeah.
I poured out it was sparkling white grape juice. For Bob, it should have been a Cabernet, but left a undrank glass at the meeting there and explained the loss of mentor. We talk a lot about mentorship in Toastmasters.
I thought you were going to say you poured out brake fluid or something, like some kind of real homage.
No, yeah. Now, Bob liked a good glass of wine. Bob gave me so many pieces of wisdom, but one of the things that stuck with me the most was when he taught me to stop giving away my knowledge. And that from an automotive professional example, he was speaking to me as the manager of a shop at that time that wasn't charging enough, incidentally, for repairs. I know that as a consumer, you might think, oh, they charge plenty. But believe it or not, running a profitable shop requires pretty exorbitant prices on auto repair in many cases from our perspective. And the tendency we have, because we're very sensitive to the budget concerns of our clients, is to try and give them a sweet deal. And we end up making it very hard to keep our business profitable. And that's where most of the shop owners struggle. And then when they start getting into that struggle,
they want to help people out. They want to give that discount. They want to do it for free if they could, but they can't.
Absolute place of goodness in the heart that it leads to this. I remember I could go into story mode all day on that. But yeah, there's many cases where get bleeding heart syndrome when you're dealing with people standing there crying about their broken car. And it's like, what do you do?
And that highlights emotional intelligence when it comes into functioning, is that is a very difficult situation where you're empathizing, like, I feel bad. I really want to help you. But then having to then step in of like, this is how I can help you and this is what it will require. And part of that requirement is money.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I can't run a business to help anybody.
And like being able to navigate that without giving in, or there's like a lot of people pleasers. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do whatever I can to help this person, even though that might not be what's best in your best interest, those kind of things.
No. Yeah. I think like Bob's lessons were very much, it helped me get around the idea that profit's a dirty word. It's like, I can't give back to my community unless this place is successful. I can't cultivate my team to be the experts they need to be and send them to the training that costs a lot of money to stay trained in this business. I can't do that unless we're profitable. And if we can't do that, then we become not good at what we do. And if we become not good at what we do, it's dangerous. And that's dangerous for the whole community as well. And you have to be able to see yourself as a vital part of your community. And you need to act like that too. You have to act that part. You have to live that out.
You have to know your value.
And it's high.
If you could change one thing about your industry, what would you change?
There's never one thing. But you know what? I think I would want the people within it to consistently get comfortable stretching their ability to change. We get very set in our ways. Transmission industry, where I come from, very specific part of the industry that has been kind of notorious for this. you plateau. You can really plateau in this business because you get very successful doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden it's been 20 years and whoa, you're behind and catching up's hard.
So you figure like constant growth or constant improvement and change?
We need butts and seats at our training events, specifically in technical training. And I would urge everyone that's even in the communication role in the shop, service advisors, the guys at the front desk, go with your technicians to technical training. You need to understand what they have to understand in order to appreciate them as much as you should. And that's going to solve some culture issues in the shop as well.
I feel like I'm having some empathy for your colleagues in the automotive industry because there's a lot of things that I like to do that are very technical and hands-on, and I don't want them to change. I don't want to do them differently. I want to do them the way that I know how, that I'm comfortable with, that I enjoy, that I'm fast at, that I'm quick. Yeah, and so you don't want to change.
Oh, yeah. My grandpa, he told a really good story on this. Like, my grandpa was one of 3 guys in all of Grand Rapids, Michigan here that knew how to build an automatic transmission in the first days of that technology. And why? He'll tell you, well, all these other guys in the dealership, they say there's something like, I'm a stick man. I'm not working on them things. I work on sticks. And they did until that became 5% of the vehicles on the road, right? This is one of those things. You can't just get comfortable where you are right now. You got to be able to stretch.
I've heard that conversation come up when it comes to like electric vehicles and electric cars. And like, I know that is a very hot button topic. And so like, we don't need to get into that.
Coming topic. There's going to be an episode. I was just talking to my friend Tony Helmholt today. We're going to be doing an episode on not like the good, the bad, and the ugly on electric vehicles, but sort of the enthusiasm, the emotion, and the reality is where we're going. He was a Tesla tech before they were really even making the Model S's way back when.
Right. There's sports cars, right?
Well, yeah, he used to work at our shop as one of our transmission techs as well. And when he got involved in the early part of the electric vehicles, it's so funny because Tony has experienced a great deal of the industry's resentment towards electric cars, which is such a strange thing. Like, we used to be the people enthusiastic about technology. Now all of a sudden we're having an emotional reaction to this new technology because we think it's going to upend something that we care about deeply, which is just explosions in an engine, for Pete's sake.
It's because we have given so much of our life to something that we don't want it to change. We love it the way that it is. Even if it's imperfect, even if it can be improved, we don't want it to have to. That's human. I get it.
Yeah, we know electric cars have less moving parts. And I think some people get afraid of the fact that, like, oh, well, the EVs come in and we're not going to have belts and hoses and things to replace. I mean, there will be some of that. Okay. But there's other problems they have, namely electrical problems, the area of expertise we constantly are drilling our technicians to try to get better at electrical diagnosis, get better at electrical diagnosis, get better at electrical diagnosis. You're going to have to. Even the internal combustion engines, you have to be good at that too. You've got to move on. You've got to be able to do it. And they still break everything else. Brakes, tires, steering components, all that good stuff. People be busy.
If humans are involved, it'll get broken.
Yeah. All things in motion eventually cease.
I hear you. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. I'd like to quick hit on Toastmasters and our journey. Tell me about your Toastmasters journey.
Yeah, it started just before you joined our club. You've seen a lot of it. But my Toastmaster journeys came from my boss, Chris Cloutier. He encouraged me to do that. It's after I totally botched a meeting that I was in. I mentioned this before, I think. It's not that I was bad. It's that I didn't shut up. I was the expert. I was the one talking.
Been there.
Yeah, exactly. This is something, for some of us who are okay at articulating ourselves, we get really good for it. I've learned a lot since those early days. But here's the thing. I was trying to impress my boss. I was trying to impress our client. I was trying to impress another coach, a man I deeply respect. Jeremy O'Neill is his name. He's been an early influence of mine as well. He spells his name funny, O-N-E-A-L, Jeremy. Sorry, I always pick on you for that. But the thing is, I was conducting a portion of a meeting with 2 people, my boss and this Jeremy O'Neill. And I think these people are still giants in my mind, and I need to impress them. How do you impress them? Well, I keep talking.
I say smart stuff so they know that I'm smart.
Yeah, exactly it. And what it is also, it's a fear of losing control when you can't stop talking. I mentioned this, and I think the title of the episode was Shut Up.
I am an anxious talker as well, and there's a lot that goes into that. And that anxiety comes up of like, I have to say more because they don't understand.
I'll fix it by talking more.
Or if I don't say enough, then they're going to think I'm dumb. Like they're going to think I don't know, or I'm stalling, or any number of 10,000 things that go through your head for sure. Yeah.
But no, Chris, he's such a great leader. He has a really good way of giving feedback. And his feedback for me was, hey, Craig, I think you should check out Toastmasters sometime. I think you'd really enjoy that. And here's why. Right. And it's like, oh, yeah, to improve public speaking skills. That's less scary than, hey, you really sucked at this thing. He did give me the candid feedback of talking too much, but
right. And it is a little bit of like, you could benefit from this, right? Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
A lot of our club members they say, yeah, my boss suggested this for me. And sometimes I'll put a smile and say,
I bet they did. Yeah.
Did they suggest it for you? Do you suppose?
I had somebody tell me one time that I would benefit from introspection about brevity and clarity. And I was like, what?
Wow. That's well said.
And then I was like, later, I was like, oh.
Oh.
So it brought you in. Where would you say that you started? Like, if you had to like rank yourself, like where was I kind of at? And then where do you feel like you are? And then I want to give my perspective.
Well, here's the thing is when I first came in there, my attitude sucked. Because I'm going to this Toastmasters thing. It's about getting good at public speaking. What do you suppose someone like me with a bit of an ego, let's be clear, comes in? I'm thinking, I'm going to go to this club, but I'm going to be better than everyone there.
I'm going to be the best speaker there.
It's so dumb. But that's exactly it. But then I see guys like Shane Sievers, one of our longstanding members, and I was like, crap, this guy's really good. Oh, I have things I can learn from these people. Then I opened my mind and my heart to learning from others and, hey, gradual improvement. I came in at, I think I was not heedful. I'll use the word of the day again, of really what my true abilities were. I think that I had survived for a long time on some nice compliments about my basic ability to speak well and connect with people, but it was unrefined. I had a great mentor, Chris Cloutier, who can take an unrefined gem, I'll say, or some shiny stone of some sort and polish it up and make it better. And that's the kind of thing that Toastmasters can do for you.
So from my perspective, like you said, I think it was like 2 weeks or a month, maybe. You were in ahead of me. Shane invited me to speak. And so I came and I spoke on emotional intelligence. I remember though that your engagement, you were like, hey, that's awesome. And you were talking to me and you were conversing with me about what I had discussed. And like, that really drew me in. And I really appreciated that connection, that relationship. Like, oh, people actually care about what I'm saying, like care about the things that I'm talking about. And I can say this in all earnest honesty that I saw where you were, and then I saw you grow and gain, and I saw your struggles. I saw where you came in and it wasn't the best. You didn't have a good day. But then I'd see you just start stacking those consistent, like great speech, great speech, great speech. And then struggle a little bit, adjust, great speech, great speech, great speech. And then to where like, I can't remember the last time you gave a speech that I had a lot of significant feedback for. Obviously, we always try to find some, but like, there's a lot of times I feel this and I can say this. To me, I have learned a great deal about professional public speaking from watching you do it. Because of the people in our club, you are one of the better professional, especially technical speakers. You have a lot of great presence, knowledge, cadence, all of that. And I've watched you hone it. You didn't show up with it. You had that natural talent and skill, like you had who you are, and you honed that. You sharpened that blade. I have definitely seen that. Like there are many times, like I consider myself a good speaker, but if I were going to go give a professional speech, I would want you to like give me feedback. I would want you to be like, all right, when you present, what do you do? How do you handle these things? And like, I've watched that progression. And so for me, I very much have seen how impactful Toastmasters has been and how much you have applied yourself to it.
Nice. Thanks for saying that. That's really interesting perspective to hear too. My grandpa always taught us early on, by the way, always go up and talk to the speaker about something that you appreciated about it. That was drilled into us. Could be an angry pain in the butt, but he had some really great wisdom sometimes too. And me and my brother, shoot, dude, I don't know. I think we might be friends with some of the trainers today because of that very thing. But no, dude, that's awesome because I've seen your journey as well. I remember And I'll pick on this because you've already solved it, but the filler words, you remember. Yeah, like I don't remember. There was one that was like over 30 in one speech or something. I remember it's like, what, really? Like, and then you became more heedful of that. Dude, I just evaluated a speech last week for you. I don't think I had any filler words I found at all, which is incredible.
Which is something that Toastmasters for sure brought to my awareness. In general, like we always talk about, once you go to Toastmasters and you learn to pay attention to filler words, then you hear people speak and you can't not hear them.
Yeah, it's like,
stop doing that.
Yeah, it's killing me. One of our online club members here for our Remarkable Results Toastmasters Club for the industry, one of our officers, Bill Nalu, he says, Oz and Urs are like a dagger to the heart. And it's like, man, at least the ears. I don't know.
This is something that I recently was having a discussion. I think it was with Shane. It might have been with David about, who's another member of our club, about there is a level of filler word in conversation that makes people feel comfortable.
Yeah, so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you're speaking like here, I definitely have had filler words because it's a conversation. It's a back and forth. It's a wait, pause, move. There's filling it in, making them feel comfortable, searching for can be a pause. I got to think for a word, and people know that.
Yeah, and you're signaling to the other person to hang on, don't interrupt me. You know,
when you're public speaking, they're distracting, and because they're not talking to you, you were talking. So yeah. And that, like, you got to find that balance.
Yeah, it's interesting. No, but you know what's fun, though? And I think you've seen this now, too. Like, you've been a member of the club long enough to have seen some nervous, unmolded people come in. And we have such a great group of new members right now, too. And they're so eager to get the speeches signed up, and they're giving their speeches each meeting, which is just awesome. That enthusiasm is great. I get more enjoyment out of Toastmasters now, not working on myself, but just like watching the progress with another person. I just love it. It just makes me want to cry sometimes when I see these people get up, conquer this thing that they were working on, and just get over it and beyond that. And they're going to be great. They're going to be great. Love that. One
of the things that I've appreciated about Toastmasters is, like, the day I came, she was the vice president. She had previously been the president. She left. Nancy came up to me. Then this was like the first time I'd ever had somebody communicate with me in this way about my speaking. Was like, you're a fantastic speaker. You're a fantastic communicator. You could compete. And I was like, you can compete in speaking?
There's a competition. Perfect.
I had this like, what, that's a thing? And she's like, yeah, there's like an international competition. And then I did it every year after that up until the last year. This will be the first year that I'm not doing it.
Oh, too bad. They're doing it in person now. They have an in-person finally. Yeah, go figure.
I know. After I got stuck with the pandemic online thing, I was like, I'm definitely better in person.
I want to do it one of these days, but I've been too busy every time. This time of year is terrible for that.
So one piece of advice or information that you would just like to talk about or you want to share with your audience, but never had an opportunity?
I get a lot of opportunities. So I think if I had to lean on one piece of advice, I'm going to borrow from former president, David Doughty, his whole theme for last year for the club. It is all about the progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. I thought that was such a good theme for us to keep for the year. And I think that's the advice is you don't need to stress out about being a perfect speaker. Good grief. Honestly, I think these people hitting the easy button on AI have that concern that I don't sound good enough. My words aren't enough. My way of saying it isn't the way people want to have it. And so they hit that button and they make it something not them. And that sucks.
The worst part is that they feel like I'm not good at it. I make mistakes. I'm unsure. And some of that might be true, but they are making it absolutely worse by completely deferring it to AI and not attempting to practice or work on it because internally, nothing has changed. None of that has improved. That's still there. And then that anxiety is not going to go away. And that skill set isn't going to develop.
Yep. Our skills atrophy. But it's like...
Or it get worse.
We get this really perfect phrase right now is the phase of AI use that maybe AI is going to get so sophisticated it'll start dripping in little errors for authenticity sake. I'm sure we'll start to emulate and imitate that too. Yeah, more just like deliberate things to make it seem more genuine as opposed to the machine, because the machine is this cold, flawless perfection, and that sucks. I don't want that in my life. Perfection ends the pursuit. You can't pursue anything once you achieve perfection, and that sounds like a world I really don't have much interest in.
That's very true. Are there any questions that you wish I had asked?
Man, I think like every question I have, like I like talking about all sorts of things. I like talking about airplanes and history and all that sort of stuff. Like for me, I like getting philosophical on a ton of stuff. So the nature of what makes me care about things is really the only place that I can think of any kind of questions on. And I don't know, I get to cover most of the things I'm interested in these days. Having a platform is pretty cool.
Yeah, I can imagine. And not only can imagine, I know because you have brought me on and I have appreciated these opportunities. I said before, one of the reasons is that I wanted to share sort of my perspective of you and your speaking journey from like how we've kind of come up through it together. And one of the things is that you're a fascinating guy. You're interesting and cool and you do a lot of cool stuff and you have a lot of cool interests and you fly planes and you do all this hiking and you ride a motorcycle.
My mom told me I was cool. Nice.
And you ride a motorcycle. And I remember like one of the first days you like showed up on your motorcycle and took your helmet off and your hair just was like long flowing locks coming down. And I was like, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Now I've got a real problem with this now though, man. I've got a real problem with it because now my daughter thinks that like guys who ride motorcycles are probably good dudes. It's like, crap.
No, you've done it.
This sucks.
Yeah, no, it's cool that I do it. It's not cool that anyone you know does it. I appreciate that you have an eclectic, unique perspective, that you have knowledge and understanding of a wide variety of areas that you can bring in and you can apply regardless of the conversation, regardless of what's going on. And like you mentioned before, I'm the same way where like, then you can talk too much and you can go off on this tangent, you can go whatever. But at the same time, I'm never mad about that. Like, I feel like I've always enjoyed that back and forth and I appreciate that. And I wanted your audience to get to see a little bit of the ins and outs and the perfect, not perfect Craig O'Neill.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a motorcycle ambassador episode at one of these points because I've got some beef with some of the guys out there tearing things up, man, giving a bad reputation.
I mean, I think bikers always had a bad reputation. That was like a thing, right? You know, like you're a biker. You know?
Oh, Devin, one of the cool things too is on airplane stuff of my flight instructor. I'm going to have him on here very soon as well. They've got some really cool things to talk about. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to get to draw out some of the fun areas. Like, dude, there are some things in aviation. You know this. You've been around a lot of things that fly for various reasons. There's a lot of communication. Yep. Very different experience with aviation than mine, I'm pretty sure.
Is there a hobby or an interest? I mean, I know aviation's your passion because you talk all day about it. And is there something?
Yeah. It's on the wayside, though. So the hobbies and interests I'm in these days, it just involves my 2 feet and a backpack.
Yeah, I was going to say you've been rucking everywhere.
I want to finish the pilot stuff. I really do. But there's a season of life for that. And it is not right now with the kids and the expense and everything. So, you know what's really cheap? Getting out on my feet, going and walking around, taking the family to national parks. Yeah, we're in adventure mode right now. We just want to go beautiful places.
I don't blame you. I definitely have found in my own journey the most peace just walking around outside. And so I fully understand that. We're going to wrap it up and I'm going to have to hand it back over to you because this is actually your show, even though I've been driving today. This is like something I always try to do with people to like end on a good note is what are 3 things you are grateful for?
Oh, 3 things I'm grateful for. It's really easy. Guess I can just list a few people, but I'm going to very generalize here. I'm going to start with my wife. She makes everything possible, dude. I married so smart, man. I found the right one young and we have grown together. And over 20 years now, we've been married. It's been awesome. And that gave us the second thing I'm grateful for, which is my kids, which give a sense of purpose in life that just is, I can't think of anything better to do on that. And I'm thankful for my health right now. Several friends and colleagues had some struggles with health. It really hurts to see people hurting. I'm grateful for my health and I'm going to try to do what I can to preserve that as well. So I can be there for my family, my wife and my kids.
I'm going to ask you for one more. because those are all great. And those are all exactly what you should say. They are. I mean, like, if you come on, you're like, if you get on there, you're like, my motorcycle, my Bud Light. And, that's probably not the right answer because your family's going to ask some questions later. But something you're grateful for that is incredibly specific that you just really appreciate. And it can be food. It can be a very experience you had. It can be a part of rucking, anything that you're like, I really appreciate and I'm grateful for this.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a great question. It's weird is the first thing that just crossed my mind is that the Detroit Lions got first seed, which is so weird because I'm not that into sports.
No, I'm right there with you because I said this the other day. I said that if the Lions win the Super Bowl, if they win, everyone in Michigan, it doesn't even matter if you're a fan, you'll just know. It's like a song will go out and announce it, and everyone in Michigan will be like, it happened.
It's going to be a day of celebration. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, gosh, man.
I'm getting that seed huge. I am grateful for that as well.
No, I'm going to say thankful for my home club, Toastmasters Club 404, though. Became a pretty important part of my life.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Same thing. I feel like I value my relationship with you and all these other people so much. Like there's an old saying that we are a combination of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And I feel like knowing that, I try to spend more time with people from Toastmasters because I've always appreciated just the eclectic learning that comes out of it, the great relationships, the connection, the support, the understanding.
Purposeful journey we're on together. I think there's a mutual goal. It starts with trying to improve yourself, but then all of a sudden you realize the value you could provide to the others around you. And it's just, that's the gym each week for me. I feel great walking out of that place. It's been good.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes to a fault where we don't want to stop talking and we're standing in the parking lot and we gotta I gotta go home and cook and stuff, I gotta go feed people,
Yeah. And it's cold. Yeah. No, good stuff, man. Evan, thanks so much for doing this with me today. This has been a really interesting, I wasn't sure how this would go, especially not being in control the whole time. You're great.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do it. Thank you.
No, this has been a ton of fun, being a frequent guest and becoming more familiar to our audience as well. So, hey, folks out there, if there's questions you want to ask too, and anything you have feedback for Evan, reach out to us, speakup@craigoneal.net, man. Send us that email. We'll pass that along. There's so many cool topics that we have. I have a pretty cool club. There are some other members. We're going to get Matt Browning on here. I can't wait.
Nice. Such an accomplished speaker.
Holy cow. Yeah, it's actually, been in that world.
It is a professional speaker, yeah.
And happens to be a club member. It's just ridiculous how many cool people we have. It's a great club. But hey, we appreciate hearing from you guys. So if there's a topic you want to bring, reach out on that. We'd love to have you on the show. And remember, listen up to the other shows on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Remarkable Results Radio with Carm Capriato, Diagnosing the Aftermarket A through Z with Matt Fonslow, Business by the Numbers. Hey, and it's tax season. Hunt Demarest, smart dude. Man, he's smart. I'm pretty sure he's busy this time of year, but you'll still hear episodes from him. And the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Brian and Kim Walker. Fantastic individuals. I think they have it easier because there's 2 of them all the time. So I'm glad you were joining me here as frequent as you are, Evan. It's easier with 2. And I can tell you that. It is.
It's fun. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real. I would not start a prep podcast, so I'm very glad that you did.
Very nice. And hey, don't forget Coach Chris Cotton on his weekly Blitz. He's got great insights every week for you. And of course, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our listeners for joining us. Now get out there, listen up, and speak up.
You've been listening to Speak Up, effective communication with Craig O'Neill on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Follow Craig on your favorite podcast listening app and on his YouTube channel. Let him know what you'd like him to speak up about. Craig is all for advancing the automotive service aftermarket.